Are we live?
Hey, house guests! Welcome to today's Big Brother Canada 11 digital dailies, updates, and spoilers.
Right?
Our house guests of the day are Teresa Lyons and Van Scott. Thank you both so much for the
Awesome.
support. Yes.
Big up yourselves.
Big up yourselves. We appreciate it so much, and we could not do this without you. So thank you again so much. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. The price of everything's going up, but the price of house guests of the day,
still $1.
Still $1 for a holla.
That's
Yay!
Right.
So
maybe we'll be lucky and be graced by an appearance from
Lamb
none
Chop.
other than Lamb Chop,
Maybe.
aka Lammy.
Yeah, you never know.
Yes.
So I want to welcome everyone. We're doing things a little bit differently this season because Big Brother Canada is doing things differently. We are in
Why not?
Yeah, we're in uncharted territory. There's no live feeds this season. If you didn't already notice, they're putting out these digital dailies 5 times a week. They're releasing them Monday through Friday.
It's edited feeds.
Yeah, I mean, it's like little clips. It really does feel like watching After Dark, where like the cameras will cut, like when it's not the end of a conversation. You're like, wait, I wasn't done with that.
I kept finding myself wanting to like go to another conversation that wasn't as stupid or boring as what they were showing,
because it's only what they are showing you.
Do you think they're going to keep it to around 3 hours like they did for Big Brother After Dark?
I don't know. I mean, it definitely has that After Dark feel. I don't know if that's what they're going to go for each day. I mean, if there's like a crap ton of stuff, are they going to keep it going? Or are they going to be like, no, we're at our quota, so I don't know. But we're going to try and do what we can with it. We're just going to like keep playing ball here. I'm not sure if the digital dailies will be released around the same time each day. I know last night they came on after the show aired, so it was like around 8ish o'clock. So I don't know if they're going to stick with that
I would say there's not going to be a definite time, but like on the show days, it's probably going to be in the evening, and on the other days, it's anybody's guess.
I mean, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens, right? Especially in this first week. But somebody was asking me, do you need a VPN to watch the digital dailies? And I can now answer yes.
You do.
They are on the Big Brother Canada website, .ca. And
.ca, baby.
You do need a VPN to watch that. So
right.
Please.
But do you need a VPN? You don't need a VPN to watch the show.
I think you might, yeah.
Really?
On the website, yeah.
On the website.
On the website. If you're watching it on other websites, you don't need it.
No. But there's no way to watch the digital dailies on other
not
websites,
that I've seen. I don't know if somebody's posting that. I'm not really sure. Also, yeah, that's a good point. It would not hurt to have an ad blocker because there are a million ads on these digital dailies. I was using an ad blocker last night and it was perfect. No ads.
Well, I was not.
And now I will be installing an ad blocker.
And now I know every commercial by heart.
Good for you.
What's the damage?
All right. So if you guys could just bear with us as we settle in to the season and find our like rhythm and our live stream schedule, because I don't know, we're gonna try and do things like we normally do, but
well, the digital dailies are supposedly being released on Monday through Friday, so yeah. I would think that our update videos, spoiler and update videos, would be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, I don't know. I was not just listening to what he said. I zoned out.
Yeah, that's life.
But let's pull up a chair and get ready for this live stream.
Yes.
Okay, so in case you missed it, we did do a cast assessment video, which you can check out. Hear our thoughts on the house guests before they went in. We do have
totally green going in, not knowing, and already so wrong on so many.
That's how it goes, right?
That's how it goes. It's first impressions for a reason.
Yes, we did our episode chats for episodes 1 and 2. Those are up if you want to check those out. And now let's talk about what we already saw on the show before the dailies started. So unfortunately, Amal had to leave.
Yeah.
Due to a personal matter. We don't know what that is. We're not going to pry.
They asked the house guests also not to talk about it out of respect for her and her family.
I hope she's doing okay.
I do hope she's doing okay.
Yeah. We saw that Santina won HOH. We'll get there. And we also saw...
Somebody said that they saw the dailies on YouTube.
Oh, okay. So you might be able to find it on YouTube. We also saw that Renee is dead last this week. There's this new twist. Whoever finishes last in the HOH competition is an automatic third nominee for the week.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing her go.
She's like kind of really annoying.
She's a lot. A lot.
Yeah, but like we said, she's going to be the third nominee this week, and the veto can be used by anyone,
right?
The nominee or somebody else, to take down the third nominee. But the HOH would be naming a replacement, which is wild to me.
Do you think the HOH will not be playing in the comp?
The HOH is not playing.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not like super thrilled about that. It is what it is, right? We're just gonna roll with it. I mean, it was awesome last season that because the HOH wasn't playing, like so many people won the veto and actually used it. You love to see stuff like that.
So you think there's going to be 3 players picked then, besides the 3 on the block?
Yeah.
Or just 2? Because sometimes when the HOH didn't play, there was only 5.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. So now let's just dive into what we saw in yesterday's Digital Daily. So what they put out was actually footage from Wednesday the 8th.
Right.
Which was the 5th day in the house, just as we suspected.
So it was almost like a nothing day because I don't think there was any comps that day for them.
They still had not done nominations at first. But the daily started out with the house guest making some sort of like HelloFresh meal. Yay, sponsors!
So it probably really didn't show footage from until like afternoon.
Later in the day, I would say, for sure. Yeah, I don't know if they're just going to pick like a random slice of hours to show us or if they're actually going to like put some thought into what we're seeing. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But I just want to mention, I noticed in the kitchen they do have an air fryer this year.
Wonderful. Woo! 2 drawers.
Yeah. And they have a compost bin.
Yeah. It's funny because one of the ads, well, that's great for the compost bin, but one of the ads was making a point of saving water by using a dishwasher and using the dishwasher tabs.
Yeah, they didn't have
And I was watching them do the dishes last night and the water was running and running and running.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to tell Claudia, look, you soap up your dishes and put them aside and then you rinse them off all at once. She's using up all of the water of Canada.
But just to mention on the cooking too, Shania, not very confident with that cooking, but we did see John Michael, aka JM, and
he's probably a pretty good cook.
Yeah, and Dan the DJ really stepped up and led the way. Can't believe this is what we're talking about.
Dan the DJ. So something weird.
I'm just trying to like differentiate between Dan the DJ and Daniel C.
Why don't you just call him DJ Dan?
Maybe I will.
Okay.
It wasn't it like DJ Zorba or something or Zorbo?
Yeah.
Or
Zuba?
I don't know. Right. Zuba, something. I don't know.
I'll tell you.
Okay. But let's continue on while you look that up.
Yes.
Or I'll just wait.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so we started to see some little group chats and stuff.
Zabo.
Okay. Santina and Claudia were chatting in, I didn't know what room this was at first, honestly, but we find out later it's like this little nook under the stairs, which honestly looked like really chill and relaxing.
Yeah, it was really cool.
And a good spot to maybe like hear people around the house. I don't know.
Or people watch.
Yeah. So they were talking about how nominations are coming up. There was no mention of who Santina was thinking about putting up. I don't know if that's something they had discussed earlier or if Santina was just keeping her cards close to the vest. I don't know.
I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that the nominations are going to be in today's Digital Daily. That will be what we're talking about tomorrow.
I mean, I don't know. We got some stuff we'll get into in a little bit, but like,
yeah.
But they were pretty much talking about like getting used to life in the Big Brother house. Of course, they've got new routines. There's just so many people everywhere, all the time.
Everywhere, everything, all at once.
Yeah. And they're just feeling drained from talking and thinking so much. And Claudia was saying, you know, she's ready for the game to start. She wants to play. And I feel like she has the potential to be a really good player. But I'm just nervous about some of the things I'm seeing here. Because
I had high hopes for her.
Well, Claudia on the second episode was very outspoken about like wanting to go after the guys and, you know, potentially making a girls' alliance.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like she's trying to get close to Santina here,
mm-hmm.
but Santina,
she ain't giving.
I don't think that Santina is on the same page.
I don't think she's in the same book.
I think Santina is in the season 7 book.
Oh no. We don't want that.
We'll get there. But anyway, Santina, no pretty boys. So then Santina and Hope were chatting by the front door. And this conversation really did feel like a disaster to us. A dumpster fire, if you will.
Oh my God, was it terrible?
Hope was like, all right, there's a lot of moving pieces right now. I just like hope everything's going to come. I hope everything's going to come together the way that it should. So Santina was like, oh, well, what are you hearing right now? Like, what's going on? And then Hope's like, I'm not hearing anything. That's
nobody's talking to me.
You just thought there was a lot of moving pieces. So clearly you know of something going on.
It was weird because they spent a lot of this conversation just staring at each other, waiting for the other one to say something.
Yeah.
And
definitely weird, sketchy vibes here. Like they were trying to figure out what they were allowed to say, maybe, without like revealing too much about their situations in the game.
Which is funny because right after Santina won the HOH in the storage room, she told Hope, hey, you're good. You're going to have a good weekend. Just relax. And he's like, am I going to have a good weekend? Yeah, you're going to have a good weekend. Can I chill? Yeah, you can chill. So, like, why do you keep coming back to her and, like, harassing her?
I think he's paranoid and overplaying already. But Hope says eventually, you know, people are coming up to him and trying to make alliances, but he says he already has one.
He wants to build on the alliance that he already has and keep them safe.
Okay, so Santina starts asking, like, what's the deal? Like, you don't have to name names, but she's, like, basically asking him to name names. So eventually, he says, I'm closest to you. Do you actually believe that? Because
no.
I don't. No. And then he says he's also close to Jonathan, the goofy noopy dad, and Roberto, the one that so many people are thirsting after. And I'm just not getting good vibes from Roberto. I don't know.
No, not either.
Yeah. So Santina's encouraging him to build on that, you know, make something more with that. And Hope says, okay, let's build then.
And she's like,
I don't really feel comfortable with this because I feel like you're not being totally open with me. So there was like this weird back and forth between them.
It was almost like he didn't understand what the word build meant.
No, I feel like
it was weird.
She can tell he's got a lot of stuff going on and he's not being honest about it. That's the vibe that I'm getting. I don't know. Then again, we're only seeing such a small sliver of everything that's going on, so who knows. But then the daily switches over to Kuzi and Vanessa chatting in the lounge. And I got so excited by this conversation, only to have my hopes and dreams shattered later. So Vanessa is sharing that she was in the HOH room earlier with Santina and Shania. And Santina, I guess, was asking a lot of people, like, okay, if you were HOH, who would you put up? Like, what would you do? And Shania said that she would nominate Zach. So at first,
that's a big move.
Yeah, it would be a huge move. At first there was a little bit of like, what about Zach? This? But then Vanessa and Kuzi seemed pretty excited that Shania would share this information because they're thinking like maybe we can get a girls' alliance going. Yeah. Maybe we can make this a reality.
Well, there was some talk of like a girls' alliance. Like Claudia was excited about that, and Vanessa,
yeah. So I don't know, but Kuzi's saying like, yeah, I want to figure out who's the leader of all the guys, and then we can take him out and then pick off the rest one by one. And it's like, oh my God, it's actually happening. Let's do this.
Imagine that. And then Santina.
Well, Vanessa and Kuzi are trying to figure out like, who do we think has the most influence over Santina this week? And I was like really surprised when Vanessa said she thought it was Zach. Because I was like, there's no way that Zach is going to have all this influence over Santina. I don't think that's the case. But But they agree, like, Zach is really smooth. He's calculated. He's apparently making his rounds every day and talking to everyone.
He's checking off making sure that he talks to everybody at least once a day.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking a spin around the house.
Right. And I'm thinking, like, there's no way that Zach is going to have the most influence over Santina. Because, like, we saw that conversation with Santina and Claudia, and we were thinking, like, oh, they seem to have a pretty good rapport. Like, maybe there's, something there. And we know that Claudia wants the guys out.
Mm-hmm.
So, we just figured she'd be on board with that. But Kuzi makes a good point about Zach. She says, a friend of everybody is a friend to nobody.
That's very true. Very prophetic.
Yes. Then they're also thinking maybe John Michael could have some influence over Santina because they were partners in that first competition. Maybe they made a deal to keep each other safe, which they kind of did.
I mean, they did, but is it for real?
Is she gonna stick to that? I don't know.
I got some more thoughts on Zach.
Yeah.
I heard some of the ladies talking, like, it might have been Santina saying, like, I wouldn't be friends with him in real life. If I had seen him in real life.
Yeah.
He's not my cup of tea. It probably wasn't Santina.
I do remember somebody saying that, but I can't remember exactly who it was.
But I also think the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So, like, even though he looks like a charlatan or a shyster or, he's full of it, if he goes around and he keeps stroking, you're going to enjoy it eventually. You know what I mean?
I don't know about the wording there, but
you know what I mean?
Like, no, I know what you're saying,
though. The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
He is giving people attention and talking to them, and he's got a good rapport with people.
He's telling them they're pretty. They're small birds,
Yeah. So anyway, then we see Santina and Zach chatting in the storage room. And I was like, oh my God, it might actually be true. Like, Zach might have the most influence over her this week.
Yes.
Because she's being, like, really open with him, telling him about her conversation from earlier with Hope and how weird it was. And she's like, I don't know where Hope's head is really at right now. And he keeps telling me that he can be my sword, but he's not, like, giving me any information.
And Zach was telling her, look, I had multiple conversations with him. I was trying to rein him in. I was, really trying to work on him. He's very immature. Maybe not in age, but, like, emotionally immature. He doesn't, he's not good.
Yeah. So he's, like, kind of vouching for Hope, but kind of not.
Yeah.
And Santina says that she is loyal to you guys. I don't know who's all in you guys, but
sounds like
like guys. And she says she's not sure about Hope, though.
Mm-hmm.
So I also want to point out, it has come up a few times now in some of these conversations. It sounds like there could be sides of the house forming based on the rooms that they're sleeping in right now. And we've seen this happen before. There's the flamingo room,
the toucan room,
and the toucan room. So we don't know yet who is in what room.
Right.
But it does seem like there are two sides of the house forming at this point. I don't know how long they're going to stick with that, but we also heard Vanessa and Kuzi kind of alluding to that situation. So again, Zach is saying he loves Hope, but Hope is probably going to get himself in trouble and, like, maybe even get himself evicted in the next few weeks.
Good.
Honestly, I could see it because Hope seems to be all over the place.
He was out of control the minute he left his ADHD medication at the door when he walked in.
Oh.
It was too much.
He has a lot of energy.
A lot. That's why he can jump straight up 5 feet in the air.
I guess. But we could see clearly from this conversation, there is a level of comfort between Santina and Zach. Like, these two are definitely tight.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sure he really does have a lot of influence over her decisions this week.
It would have been nice to see more of the feeds to see exactly what these two had talked about previously. Before. Yeah.
I mean, we're on day 5 already here.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, usually they don't show the feeds until day 5 anyway. So,
well, sometimes, the last few seasons of another country's show.
You mean U.S.?
We've gotten to see night 1 feeds. So,
yeah, that makes all the difference in the world because
really does. People are bonding already right when they move in.
When you don't do the wrap in the HOH room, how would you know it unless you were day 1 feeds?
Yeah. So then we see a conversation between Ty and Renee. They're walking and talking. And just keep in mind, Renee is the 3rd nominee this week. So
this was kind of icky.
I didn't really like this.
we know that Ty was the one who said that he was going to create alliances with the outcasts.
The outcasts. He wants to pull them in and use them.
And it's pretty obvious to me that Ty looks at Renee as an outcast because she's already up on the block.
Mm-hmm. So he's trying to scoop her up.
And she's annoying. And
well, Ty is telling Renee, look, you don't have to worry this week. I've got your back. I mean, they haven't even had nominations yet at that point, I don't think. So we don't know who is going to be going up against Renee. I guess Ty knows because he's like in this big group.
He's in the group.
Yeah.
But he's kind of grooming her to be his BB robot.
I don't like that.
And she's up for it because
there's definitely some pretty boy energy going on here.
They were studying the stupidest things too, like the order of the paintings.
The order that people walked out during the fashion show.
A whole bunch of stuff. I don't think they need to know that, but like
Renee was explaining, like, she wants to be able to pull her weight because she feels like Ty has brought her into this group and is like keeping her safe. So she's like, I want to do something for everybody, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But again, Ty makes this like mysterious and intriguing reference to both sides, as in there are
multiple sides now.
Yeah. I don't know. I wanted to hear more about that, but then the cameras flipped. So I was like, okay. We did at least get a good conversation after that. Kuzi and John Michael, aka JM, were chatting in the backyard. And these two seemed, again, like very comfortable with each other. Seems like there's potential there.
Long, meaty conversation.
Yeah.
That I really felt there was a camaraderie between the two of them, and they were sharing information and they were talking game.
I like the way their personalities were gelling together.
I was so happy that the two of these house guests were together.
Yeah. So
for the moment.
Yeah. For the majority of this conversation, they were pretty much comparing notes on Santina, talking about, conversations that they've had with her. And they both feel very unsure of where she stands at this point.
She's not giving out any information.
Right. They feel like whenever they talk to her, she's very quiet and she's waiting for them to give her information. They're really not getting a good read on her at this point. So John Michael, who's supposed to have a safety deal with Santina, is kind of like, am I safe this week? I don't know.
I have no idea. That would be a big move.
He's definitely worried
to make a big move.
Yeah. So he's like, if she puts me up on the block, I'm going to call her out. Like, it's going down.
Didn't he basically say there was going to be like fireworks? And yeah.
That'd be wild.
I know.
And Kuzi's telling him, honestly, like, if you go on the block, I could see people trying to take a shot at you because you would be a big target. You proved yourself to be a worthy competitor in that first HOH. So might not be so good if you go up on the block.
Things would have been different if only JM had won the HOH.
I know. So he feels like at this point, Santina will stick to the deal that they made, but it seems like he's definitely feeling a little bit nervous.
I don't blame him.
I know, I would too.
She's not making anybody feel comfortable except for Zach.
Yeah. Well, and I think some of the other guys too.
Well, but I mean directly Zach, because it seems like Zach is the number one guy in the group. He's the mastermind.
Right. So another thing that I wanted to mention from this conversation, Kuzi is definitely feeling nervous because she feels like people are not really sharing info with her yet. She's been trying to talk to a lot of people. We saw in those dailies, she was having a lot of conversations with people.
Sure.
But a lot of them were kind of just like surface level. People weren't really giving her much to work with.
Yeah.
But that's why I was so hopeful about this conversation with JM. We'll see what happens with that. But next up,
I'm very surprised how down to earth and approachable and friendly and nice Kuzi is, because from her package and from her bio, I felt like she was very like snobby.
Thought she was gonna be extra.
I thought she was going to be a lot.
She's not. Feel like she's really one of my favorites right now.
Exactly,
sure.
Me too.
But now we have a bro chat that we unfortunately have to talk about. Hope, Ty, and Roberto were chatting in the library.
I do not like this trio.
Me neither. So straight up.
And it's not because I don't like guys. I don't like the attitude.
The bro thing.
Yeah.
So Hope says, I really need to calm the hell down and stop talking. Yeah, probably, because it seems like he's kind of
a loose cannon,
overdoing it at this point. Yeah, definitely a loose cannon. So Roberto's like, we don't have to worry. She's on board with us. I'm assuming he means Santina. And Roberto starts talking about how special their group is. They all have their individual strengths. They work so well together. So he goes through each person in their guys group and talks about what makes them special. So Roberto is like,
my mommy told me I'm special and different from everyone else.
And then she rubbed the lotion
on his butt.
So Roberto says, I'm funny. I'm social. Hope, you're athletic, you're social, you have that high energy.
You're athletic and you're athletic and you're athletic.
Yeah. Zach, he says, is a mental mastermind. Ty is trustworthy, because I don't trust him. But then again, we're not in the house, so you know. Jonathan is the nice guy. Okay, so I hear all these guys mentioned.
Yeah.
Guys group. So Rob is telling Hope, don't think too hard about things. Don't beat yourself up. We're gonna be fine. We're pros. We got this. So Rob is also saying, you know who we have to worry about in this game? We need to worry about the people that don't want to work with the guys.
We're gonna be everybody's guard dogs. We don't even have to be in power because they're gonna come to us.
Yeah, Ty was all like, we don't even have the power right now. I mean, sorry, we do have the power right now, and we're not even HOH. Like, yeah, they were saying they're going to be the guard dogs for all of the HOHs, and the HOH will just come to them and be like, protect me.
But then I believe he said, I can't wait till it's like week 12 and there's still 6 of us left.
Too bad there's only 10 weeks in
I know. Good one.
Yeah. Basically this conversation, it's the classic guys talking like they've got everything figured out. They got it all under control. They got the
whole world in their hands.
Yeah, it's a lot. So then
it's so arrogant and so crappy.
To make matters worse, Shania and Renee are chatting in the storage room. And it would appear that they are talking about working with the bros for now.
No.
Ew. Them, Santina, they feel like she's also on board with this.
Who brought the roofies in that house?
Like, did you not watch season 7 and like all the other seasons where the guys try to do the same exact thing?
No, wasn't there some reference to I forget which season it was, and one of the people said like, I only watched one season. I don't know what it is.
Shania, because somebody told her like, oh, you look like Raquel from season 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, I didn't see that season.
I only saw like
Raquel or Rochelle?
Rochelle.
It's Rochelle.
Yeah.
Okay. Too much Vanderpump Rules drama.
I could tell you about bartender recipes though.
Yeah. So it's definitely giving these girls are just planning on working with the guys. Ew.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Yeah, so then we have back in the library. Now we have Dan, DJ Dan.
Yes.
JM and Zach chatting.
Right.
And it seems like John Michael wants to kind of like solidify things a little more.
Well, I think he's also walking back his,
I'm going to target the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he senses that he might be in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, he made a pretty bold statement before he was HOH.
Yes.
And then he didn't win.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's talking about like, we need to work together. We need to get some numbers together. But he's saying we don't necessarily need to like make an alliance. But, if we could work together. And Zach is like, we have nothing to worry about this week. We're golden, pony boy. But then Dan is talking like he's on the block.
Yeah, we were like, did they do noms?
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know if they did nominations or if maybe Santina gave Dan a heads up, like, hey, you're probably going up on the block.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but Dan is talking like he's already up there. I don't know who's up next to him besides Renee, but Zach is reassuring Dan, you're going to be fine this week. And Dan doesn't seem super worried.
Mm-hmm.
But Zach was chastising John Michael because I guess JM was basically like, I want to win the veto and use it, like make a move. And Zach was like, you can't do that.
No.
Because you're going to freak out the HOH. Like, we don't need to be saying things like that.
That is so stupid to say, oh, you just can't do that. That I would be worried for my life, and I would not be talking about Zach about anything important after he said that to me.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't stop yawning. Once I get started, I can't stop.
It's like Lay's potato chips. You can't have just one.
Yeah. So then Dan, again, he seems really like comfortable with being up on the block, not like super paranoid about it. He's like, I don't really blame Santina for putting me up. I know it's nothing personal. We just haven't really talked that much. And I know I'm going to be okay. Are you? I don't know what's going on. But anyway, that's that. So then Santina and Kuzi are up in the HOH room.
Oh my God, this was a knife in my heart.
I was not expecting this
at all.
Kuzi starts throwing JM under the bus. They had that nice ass conversation earlier, walking around the backyard.
So hopeful from that.
And
then to go to this.
Yeah. So
the highest highs to the lowest lows.
Yeah. Kuzi's like, remember how you were asking everyone like who we would put up if we were HOH? Well, I have an answer for you. She's like, I would want to make a big move. And she shares, like, I was talking to JM earlier, and I just want you to know he's really worried that you might put him up on the block this week.
Yeah.
Why are you telling her this? Why are you doing this? So Kuzi is like, you might want to make that move. I don't know. I'm not naming names, but I am. And she's like, I want to keep you safe. I have your back. And she's like, I don't want to see JM, start getting numbers and building up this army to go against you. So watch out for that.
He's really good in the game, and he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's strategic. He's calculated. I'm not a fan of this. So Santina, she doesn't really say what she's going to do, but she's like, let's just see.
She's just taking it all in.
Yeah, let's just see what happens with power veto.
Right.
And she's trying to say, like, I don't really have a target right now, which I don't know if that's true or not, or if she's just saying that in front of Kuzi. But she says she's not necessarily targeting the people that she's putting up on the block.
I just think she doesn't care who goes home.
I don't know.
Like, there's no target versus, pawn situation. It's she doesn't care.
Yeah.
But of course she
should care.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It kind of sounds like
que sera, whatever will be, will be.
It seems like a backdoor target could be on the table. And it seems like it could be John Michael. I don't know.
It's unfortunate that Zach's arm is all the way up her butt and working her mouth, because I feel like Santina is not really running this HOH.
Yeah, it would definitely seem like the guys are. I'm gonna smash this chair like a wrestler.
Yeah.
So that's what we got to see last night. The dailies ended with them like hanging out in the hot tub, and it was just like playing some game or whatever.
Poop soup.
Who cares? But we're not sure at that point if they had nominations or not.
Again, if I had an elephant, could I come along and be invited?
No. So it would appear that if they didn't have noms, Dan, the DJ, is going up.
Right.
We already know, excuse me, that Renee is going up on the block as the third nominee. So we don't know. We don't know who that other nominee is or will be. But
poor Renee and her poor deviated septum.
I know, right?
I just can't take it though.
The next digital daily should be coming out at some point today. I don't know if it's going to be like around 8 or so, like it was yesterday. We'll find out.
Well, you've got homework to do because
we're going to be talking about it tomorrow.
Exactly. So
it might just be me. I don't know. We don't know yet.
We don't know. We're having a weather event starting tonight, so we don't know
if I'm going to be doing this from home or if I'll be here or what. But there will be something.
We don't have the capabilities of doing a double screen.
That's so sad.
Thing.
We just don't have that figured out yet.
No.
But we will eventually.
Maybe.
So me and maybe you will be back tomorrow.
Right.
And
but for sure.
Yeah. So let us know your thoughts on this first digital daily of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I was like pleasantly surprised that we got as much as we did. Of course, nothing compares to the live feeds. Do I feel lost? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But are we going to keep going with it?
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
At the Mo.
Yeah. I just get excited whenever I see like Big Brother back in my life, even though it's a lot of work, but
it's a lot of fun. It's a game that we enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a game that we have been watching from day one,
from the beginning, yeah,
of BBUS, and I hate to see it changed in a way that makes it crappy.
Yeah,
but we're still gonna watch it.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do our best. And quickbooks, a shameless plug.
Oh, what?
If you're interested, check out my Etsy shop. I make lots of crocheted goodies. Yeah. So we have a link in the info below, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to order something, like, that's cool.
We also have a vegan cookbook, but
yes.
Whatever. It's in the info
There's a link
box.
for that as well.
Just look in the info box if you want to know anything.
Yeah.
It's all down there.
So we'll be back tomorrow for more. Thank you all so much for watching and for being here. And that's it, right? Until next time. Much love. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Awkward.
Bye.